It is the Showdown in D.C. match number 2. It's the big bat match between Sammy Sosa and Jose Canseco. Two great baseball players. Unfortunately, neither one going to the Hall of Fame because of the whole steroid issue, which, to be honest with you, they should overlook some of those players because they were great players indeed who were pretty darn good without steroid usage. Sammy Sosa maybe not as much and not as dignified in terms of his numbers until he was caught using them or admitted he used them. But Jose Canseco was indeed a great home run hitter with Mark McGwire of the Oakland A's. Nonetheless, with both of these, Sammy Sosa, if it wasn't for Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, they and Barry Bonds and company would have never brought back baseball from the prominence and from the despair of a baseball strike. If you remember that big, great home run challenge and the home run race following the steroid, I should say following the strike in the 90s, baseball would not be where it is today. So you got to credit those guys for being as great and as energizing to the sport as they were. Be it, if you will, neither one are going to the Hall of Fame anytime soon, and both are tainted in terms of their respect and what they have meant to the game of baseball. So, it's only fitting and proper that both would go at it now, toe-to-toe. We're going to play quick play format. 8 rounds of boxing, celebrity boxing, for the Battle of the Bat. Now, if you know, just a couple of weeks ago, we had Barry Bonds take on the likes of Mark McGwire, and they battled to a draw. So we've got the home run kings all going at it. We could almost crown a home run king, a true home run king. This time it's Jose Canseco going against Sammy Sosa. This is a quick play bout. Jose Canseco is considered a tier 1. He's a 142 with a 34% knockout rate. Sammy Sosa is a 114, a tier 2, because again, some would argue that steroids assisted his home run efforts as opposed to a Jose Canseco that was pretty darn good without them. So we're going to play, but if you realize, just one thing I have to point out in quick play boxing, again, you're only using 2 dice. The 20-sided with the tier that they represent, 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's a 12, 10, 8, or 6-sided dice. And you're only rolling 4 segments. Each round segment is considered 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So the big deal is here, when you compare the quick play game to the regular version, there's a limited opportunity to get that one strike, that knockout. You know, where you can land the lucky punch, or anybody can have a shot to win a fight. It's a lot harder for an underdog to beat a prospective higher rated fighter in the quick play version. So it's set up like that because, number one, the quick play version is to build fight ratings, build those records, and get them ranked to the point where they get a shot at the main event, which we're going to be playing the regular game, the regular version of celebrity boxing here in the next fight. That's what it's meant to do. And you will have occasions where the underdog can get a win, get that lucky punch in, or roll those doubles, but it's a lot harder to do. So I just wanted to point that out as we're still in the infancy stage of introducing the quick play version of celebrity boxing. But here we go. So it's Jose Canseco against Sammy Sosa Jr. Sammy Sosa. Now, keep in mind, this is a big disparity match because Jose Canseco is a 142 minus Sammy Sosa's 114 rating. So when you look at that, there's going to be a decisive advantage for Jose Canseco to the tune of 27 points. So you take the 27.7 points and divide that by 4 segments that we have, and that equals a total of 6.9. That means, realistically, Jose Canseco should get a 6-point advantage each round. But in quick play boxing, the celebrity boxing, they can only get a 5-point advantage. So CANSECO will get a free extra 5-point advantage each round, each segment. So that is significant. All right, when you look at it. Jose CANSECO. Let's mark this down here. That will make a big difference. So I have to say Sammy Sosa is going to have to do something dramatic in order to compete and win this match. So let's try to get this down. It's kind of hard to type from afar. +5 advantage. And that's per round for the entire fight. Rounds 1 to 8. Let's get that in and we're ready to go. So we know that going in. Okay, so be it, if you will, Jose CANSECO will be the purple. He, of course, is a tier 1, so he will be rolling with the 12-sided die, the 12 and the 20. And Sammy Sosa will get the 10-sided die and the 20 when it's his roll. So let's start. 5-point advantage for CANSECO. Let's get it going. CANSECO's roll is a 4 and a 5. That's 9. 9 plus the 5 is 14. So not a bad start for Jose CANSECO. Rolls a 14. As far as Sammy Sosa, he gets the 20 right out of the gate, a big 20, and there's an 8. That is 28 for Sosa, and he's getting a chance to have an event. So let's go right to it and see what that event may be. Let's see. Here we go for Sammy Sosa. He rolls. It's a 3. We're going to the cut chart. We scroll down to the cut chart real quick, and let's see what we got. 4. A busted ribs. -2 points per round for the remainder of the fight. And that might be what it takes to win. So busted ribs for Jose CANSECO. Wow. Busted ribs. So -2 for the remainder of the fight. That is significant, folks. So big round there by one Sammy Sosa, who's out to prove himself. He already has that. So that is going to be to the advantage. So we've got to put that there. We had an injury. So what do we know? CANSECO scored 14, but he gets 9 because he lost the round. He gets an 8-point round there. It's a 2-point round for Sammy Sosa because of the injury. So Sammy will have a 10 and a 10. So a nice lead for Sosa. And now, since he won that last round, he will start rounds 3 and 4. And remember, CANSECO's advantage now goes from a +5 to a +3. Here we go. Sosa. Another 20. A 20 and 12. 32. Wow. Sosa's on fire. He's attacking and going right after CANSECO. Maybe there's a little disrespect there. Let's see what it's going to be. So let's go and see the unique outcome. So automatically we roll 4. It's going to be a knockdown. Jose CANSECO's knocked down. Sammy Sosa, let's look at his rating. His rating is 47.5, not too high. So we got to look under the low column. Okay, he's going to roll 2 dice. Here we go. So it's a 5 and a 5 is a 10. It's a knockdown, 7 count. So a knockdown. So Jose CANSECO knocked down 7 count. KD 7. That's going to give extra points. But now we got to see, number 1, will there be another knockdown? Let's look and see. What does it say by knockdown? Any knockdown leads to a TKO check at the beginning of the next round. All right? beginning of the next round. But we've got to see, because if it is doubles, or if this is a segment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 together, it's another knockdown. Here's the roll. 4 and a 5, we got another knockdown. Another knockdown. So now we go to the second knockdown. And now CANSECO is down again in the round. Here we go, the roll. 4 and 5 is a 9. That time it's a standing 8 count. A standing 8 count. So CANSECO down again. And that's 2. He's in trouble in rounds 2. And now we got to roll for a third. If he gets knocked out again, it's a TKO. Doubles or sequence. 2, 3, it's over. Third knockdown of the fight, it's all over. Knockdown 3. Winner is going to be Sammy Sosa with a knockdown in segment number 2. Wow. And that'll be a TKO automatically. Let's find out the particulars of this one. First of all, what round was it in? Let's take a look. We got to roll our 2 dice, the 2 10-sided dice. CANSECO did nothing in this one, folks. This is an upset. 3 and 3 is 6. So it happened in the first round, so it would be round 3. So we know the winner, Sammy Sosa. Third round TKO over Jose CANSECO. Now let's get the time. If you want to get a time, you don't have to in celebrity boxing or in regular, but I always like to do it. It adds a little flavor to it, if you will. So we're going to roll. We need a 6-sided. We need a couple of 6-sided dice. And we need our 10-sided. So let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, first of all, we know that the first 6-sided die will represent the 2-minute mark. The second one will represent 40 seconds. So 2:40 and then a 1. 2:41 of round number 3. And why did it take that long? Well, we knocked him down 3 times. So Sammy Sosa victorious here at the Showdown in D.C. And that is spectacular. He did it in spectacular fashion. If you look, he clearly, easily won segment 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 with that big 32-point outburst. And let me point out, if he hadn't busted CANSECO's ribs for the injury, he would have got him here, because any disparity of more than 10 points in a round, if there's a differential, then you are rolling for an opportunity for an event. And I'll show you that right here on the charts. Again, it's a special procedure. If there's a differential, you would roll the dice, and if you roll them, you find out what happens here. Does something happen? 2 6-sided die, 2 to 6 a cuts occurred, 7 to 10 nothings occurred, 11 to 12 a knockdowns occurred. So regardless, either way, Jose CANSECO was going to fall to the likes of Sammy Sosa most likely, and seriously, he did. And it goes back to what I said at the beginning, where quick play, the idea is the favorite has everything on his or her side to win a fight. But certainly it wasn't in this case, as Sammy Sosa victorious over Jose CANSECO by a 3rd round TKO, 3 knockdowns in a round, and he is victorious. We will be back with more of the Showdown in D.C. as we get to our celebrity boxing main event, the regular version, non-quick play, coming up next.